Reliable, cutting edge, and complete. That's a brand new X system is all about. Welcome, and thank you for joining me today. My name is Kati Kiukas. I operate as an application manager for vehicle CBRN system solutions at Environics. I will walk you through the key features and value-adding benefits of this new launch. I will discuss the aspects of CBRN threat environment and find out how the X system is structured for protection of the assets and personnel in the context of armored vehicles, especially the ones in duty in the military. So are you ready? Hop on then. Like we all know, we are living in the new era of complex, ever-evolving and unpredictable threat environment that actually challenges survivability, operational effectiveness, and protection of armored vehicles and their crew in their tasks. CBRN threat agents can be encountered and have impacts both in wartime and peacetime missions. In armed conflicts, peacekeeping, civil assistance, disaster relief, and counterterrorism. Despite the common argumentation on low frequency and probability, CBRN defense seems to retain its position as an important component of the defense systems in the armored vehicle categories. This all sets naturally requirements also for armored vehicle designs. They need to consider a large spectrum of national and international mission profiles, both asymmetric scenarios and fighting and winning conventional close combats and surviving in modern UAV, UGV attacks. On the other hand, the industry is pushed to look for lower unit and life cycle costs and reduced complexity. It also aims to the reduced development times, costs, and technical risks for the new designs. Furthermore, the modernization of armored vehicles emphasizes the adaptation of vehicle platforms to various purposes and modular, fixed or semi-fixed installed solutions with effortless integration. This overall complexity and variability of operational environment set versatile requirements also for the sensor suites for armored vehicles, both for performance, tolerance, and durability point of view. So all in all, both manufacturers, integrators, and end users, they all may carefully consider how elements of CBRN monitoring can be implemented in a smart, cost-effective, and reliable, and at the same time functional manner that survives the test of times and operations. So this means integration without losing the balance between design and operational requirements, uncompromised performance, feasible level of protection, and moderate acquisition and life cycle costs. Armored vehicle classification typically reflects the intended operational roles and military tasks the vehicles have. They take forms of armed escort, internal security task, and recon. And of course, the role and operational contexts of different armed vehicles affect naturally the type and the scale of CBRN solutions implemented and the relation to the CBRN situational awareness. In CBRN scenes, we are actually talking about a mixture of military attacks, sabotages, and accidents with potential for escalating into small and large-scale destruction. CBRN threats, they are very tricky, and they may take forms as aerosols, gases, liquids, solids, and exploding objects. And they can be introduced by deteriorating industrial facilities or human errors purely, or by versatile active, mobile, and fixed delivery methods that include containers, unmanned aerial or ground vehicles, sprayers, what else? Helicopters and aircrafts, rockets and missiles, to name but a few. And it's also a fact that armored combat vehicles may encounter single point, multiple point or line releases of chemical and biological agents from stationary or moving dissemination tools from variable distances. The vehicles are also prone to initial and residual nuclear radiation and neutron-induced radioactivity, as well as electromagnetic radiation threats. Military troops and individuals, they can be also incapacitated or eliminated by contaminated food, also beverages or other supplies, and exposure through skin, for instance. So in any military operation, protection is the one to perform an essential task where the likelihood for use of weapons of mass destruction by the counterpart increases during large-scale combat operations. This covers the related tasks and systems that preserve the forces so that maximum combat power can be applied to accomplish the missions. Protection means preservation of the effectiveness and survivability of mission-related military and non-military personnel, equipment, facilities, information and infrastructure, which is deployed or located within or in CBRN operations outside the boundaries of operational areas. A protection of advanced armored combat vehicles against weapons of mass destruction is formed by inbuilt reduction of the impact of nuclear weapons by several layers of armor and systems which are protecting against biological, radioactive, and chemical agents. Armored vehicles need to detect and tackle CBRN threats at the very early stage and get protected in a wide variety of physical environments, such as in rural, mountainous, urbanized, and industrial areas. These vehicles and their crew, they really make no exception to the need of timely information on evolving CBRN landscapes and protection and preparedness related. For constructing the kind of overall CBRN defense in armored vehicles, the following methods are applied, which of course aim to minimize losses, protect forces, and retain effective and fast operations. They are avoidance of contamination, also protection of armored vehicles, equipment, and the crew, and thirdly, decontamination in order to restore the functionality. This contamination avoidance can be further divided into 4 specific CBRN steps that include implementation of defensive measures, warning and reporting of CBRN incidents, locating, identifying, tracking, and predicting CBRN threats and hazards, and limiting the exposure to CBRN hazards. And in the case CBRN hazards cannot be avoided, there shall be protection in place for the armored vehicles, their equipment, and personnel against the impacts of the CBRN exposure. And the type and degree of protection required, they are based on unit's missions and the type of hazards. So in order to summarize, why CBRN monitoring is needed? CBRN monitoring systems are essential for avoiding contamination and protecting the crew, the vehicle, and the equipment, for retaining operational effectiveness, for minimizing losses, and finally for creating situational awareness. Early warning CBRN alarms, which are generated by the CBRN monitoring systems, they are actually used to trigger smart and effective implementation of CBRN filtration and other protective measures. Then finally, the X system. It is built upon the 3 cornerstones forming the winner's triangle of valuable key features and benefits. These all you can gain when equipping your armored vehicle platforms with the X system and relying on Environics as your partner. It's not about the system components only, but the whole package. First, we dare to call the X system reliable. So it means that you can trust the solution to do what it's promised to do and to be tolerant and durable in demanding military environment, feasible and secure to use and maintain. It also means that the system provides meaningful information and guidance at the time of CBRN threat events. And also it means that as a company, Environics can act as a true partner and supplier of tested CBRN solutions, which are based on the experience of many decades and the versatile and proven expertise in the field of CBRN instrumentation and software, system integration, and project management services. The X system represents a cutting-edge solution. It is chassis independent and scalable and modular system with the architecture that adapts easily to the operational demands of different armored vehicle categories. The X system expands from small sensor systems with a few CBRN detectors to even larger scale CBRN monitoring capabilities. The X system is complete. The new compact CBRN system solution is built upon the real mill-tested proprietary products of Environics, which are available commercially off the shelf. There is no need to look for sensors from multiple suppliers. Environics can cover the essential needs for sensor suits and support the whole lifespan of the systems, including maintenance and training at different levels. The X system provides the CBRN detectors, a physical installation data processing platform, and a variety of interfaces for third-party sensors and system integration. Environics customer success stories, they really contain over 100 installed vehicle systems for CBRN monitoring, protection, and informed decision-making. Armoured CBRN monitoring solutions have been successfully delivered, for instance, to the Nordic countries, Eastern Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. Since we are committed to customer orientation, flavored with requirements of military environment, all aspects of customer-centered design and extraordinary customer and user experience are in our focus when creating true value to stakeholders in vehicle business. We create solutions that meet the sweet spots of usability, usefulness, credibility and reliability, findability, accessibility, valuability, and desirability. We provide solutions and services and support for the whole system lifespan to our vehicle CBRN solutions. In practice, this means very strong commitment in every stages of the customer journey. From the very early steps towards the acquisition and through the actual delivery projects until the upgrade of the systems. And this shows in all levels of our operations. Like you may know, vehicle projects include typically variable vehicle platforms, specialized equipment, performance and durability requirements, and objectives for high quality and cost efficiency, both in smaller and bigger vehicle projects. It's also a fact that the vehicle industry and its profitability are often challenged by the military budgets, management of subcontractors, raw material costs, and technological expertise and innovations. Environics can help the industry stakeholders to concentrate on their essential content and the matters in which their strengths lie. We are willing and able to support them to succeed in the goals in producing and operating efficient and resilient vehicles. Selecting us to a single partner for supply of CBRN monitoring solutions means pure savings in time, money, resources, and efforts. So the new ecosystem architecture, it really supports construction of scalable, modular, and compact CBRN monitoring systems for armored vehicles, covering their various categories, mobility types, sizes, and specific needs related. So the type and the scales of CBRN protection and monitoring solutions implemented, and also situational awareness looked for, it is dependent on the role and operational context of armored vehicle categories. Typically, in combat vehicles, the interest lies primarily in the airborne CBRN threats that can be encountered in the outdoor environment of the vehicles. In these, then CBRN sensor systems can be essentially considered as elements for gaining situational awareness for effective use of CBRN filtration and other protective systems. So their primary purpose is to create protection and awareness to the vehicle crew in the form of generated early warning alarms for the detected presence of CBRN threats, and to initiate immediate protective measures. This is vital for minimizing the exposure to the incapacitating and life-threatening agents. Due to the high energy consumption and degrading filtering capacity, application of CBRN filtration should be targeted timely for occasions of real CBRN risks or detected threat events. In its simple form, automated triggering of CBRN filtration is conducted in the level of relay-based signaling to the control unit of the CBRN filtration system. In armored vehicles, battle management systems, they play a key role in displaying situational awareness for decision-making in the military combat management arena. Local audiovisual alarms for the detected threats are complemented, typically with real-time status information and selected set of sensor-specific measurement data, and that is kind of forwarded from the sensor systems via data interfaces to battle management systems. And when more centralized CBRN situational view is desired, a CBRN dedicated system software may be of assistance in the operational, maintenance, and training related needs in combat armored vehicles too. So in the family of military armored vehicles, we can define several vehicle categories, which are actually based on their platforms, mobility types, sizes, and degree of armament. These presented categories are all relevant for implementation of the new X system. We can define the armored combat vehicles, which are dedicated to transport of combat infantry squads, and then we have those combat vehicles with heavier or lighter platform and degree of weaponization, like main battle tanks and heavy armament combat vehicles. Then there is the category of armored support vehicles. They can have roles in full CBRN defense, general support, command and control, mortar carrying, and other secondary tasks as well. And in fact, armored CBRN recon vehicles belong to this specific category. On the contrary to the other categories, CBRN recon vehicles have an active key role in creating related situational CBRN awareness. So with their full CBRN capabilities, they can facilitate versatile CBRN recon, survey, and surveillance tasks. So they really need to catch the suspected CBRN releases very fast and timely manner. And they need to conduct surveillance of CBRN hazards by monitoring target areas and taking environmental samples for analysis. In the same way, they need to determine the boundaries of confirmed CBRN contamination in order to ensure safe routes for mobile trips. And all in all, we can say that in CBRN region vehicles, they combine all the vital elements like CBRN monitoring detection, meteorological measurements, environmental sample collection, CBRN analysis, area marking, data processing and management, and reporting for the favor of real-time situational awareness. So in this vehicle category, the role of the new X system is to create the core elements of CBRN monitoring with Environics proprietary products and the system software complemented with third-party solutions to create the full CBRN capabilities. Then we may define so-called light multi-role vehicles, and they adapt the same features and functionalities than the region vehicles too. They form, in fact, smaller size mini region vehicles quite often. And they are typically lightly armored, quite often 4x4 vehicles that are used for instance, for patrol, liaison, special forces mission, utility, weapons and system transport, etc. But my message is that no matter what the type of armored vehicle is, the new X system architecture serves quite straightforward creation of appropriate and proportional monitoring systems for airborne CBRN threats, which may appear in the operating environment of armored vehicles and their crew. So in a typical, very basic system layout for CBRN monitoring needs of armored vehicles, we can define the measurement points for monitoring essentially both external and internal CBRN threats. The number of the actual CBRN sensors implemented may vary according to the specifications, but quite often there is one chemical, one bi-aerosol detector, and 1 to 3 gamma radiation detectors, which are implemented for monitoring outdoor environment of the vehicle. In the same way, the exposure of the crew in the indoor environment may be of interest, and a chemical detector and a gamma radiation detector, they are often installed for this purpose too. So next, let's take a look how Environics proprietary X system components look like and how they can serve the purpose of building up these CBRN monitoring capabilities in a cost-effective and effortless way. So, as the heart of the new X system, we have launched a new system-compatible small size and weight detector, which is called Kempro XDS. That is based on the proven new generation open-loop IMS chemical detection technology, which is introduced previously in the handheld Kempro X format. So now this technology has been built into a military-tested system format, and the detector has adapted some feasible and useful system features that support integration, connectivity, and data communication in various applications. These features turn the Kempro XDS into a competitive choice for all mobile and fixed installed applications. First of all, the compact Kempro XDS, both in terms of dimensions and the weight, is now a real space-saving element for armored vehicles. The proven technology with orthogonal sensor array, multiple semiconductor sensors, and open-loop IMS cell, and nickel-63 as a radiation source under the exemption limit. It is presented in a robust system format now. The performance of this ChemPro XDS is ideal for detecting and classifying a wide range of chemical warfare agents and toxic industrial compounds, especially for early warning purposes in system applications. And thinking of the life cycle of the product, I'm also proud to tell that the ChemPro XDS is featured with the lowest maintenance cost in its class. No replacement of C-packs or desiccant cartridges are needed. Only replacement of a simple dust filter every now and then as a part of the preventative maintenance actions by the user is required. Additional good news is that the core functionality in chemical detection is complemented with supporting system features. Namely, the ChemPro XDS acts now as a physical sensor integration platform. Thanks to its versatile inbuilt data communication and interfacing options, integration of chemical, bioaerosol, and radiation detectors, or even third-party sensors like air quality monitoring devices and weather sensors, has now been made seamless and easy. For the vehicle operators, there is an inbuilt local LCD display and user interface available for providing timely, local situational CBRN awareness and also control over the integrated sensors. And in the case of the sensors are installed in several locations, a ChemPro XDS is able to show the status of the sensors in other installation sites as well. However, the product is of course fully compatible with our proprietary Enviscreen system software that is #1 choice for creating a centralized CBRN situational view and giving guidance in more comprehensive systems. For those who are looking for third-party system integration, for instance, to a battle management system, the ChemPro XDS provides Modbus interface for creating the link and forwarding essential data for decision making. In its simplest way, the ChemPro XDS can create a relay-based link to the CBRN filtration system in order to initiate the filtering in timely and fast manner as triggered by the CBRN alarms that are generated. And then there is another brand new proprietary member of the X system family. May I introduce the RunIt-X, based on the proven Geikemuller technology widely utilized for environmental radiation monitoring. So for early warning purposes, this robust military-tested small and lightweight device provides advanced gamma and X-ray radiation detection capability. With dose and large range dose rate measurement, the latter covering 0.01 microsieverts up to 10 sieverts per hour. Very nice, don't you think? In the X systems, the sensor status and the measurement data from the RunIt-X is made visible, and control over the radiation detector is realized through the ChemPro XDS user interface and or through the Enviscreen system software. And of course, when a link to the third-party system like the battle management system is created with the available Modbus interface, the essential data is forwarded and secured there too. And then the last, but definitely not the least, let's say hello to the real workhorse in the field of bioaerosol detection. Our precious proprietary military-tested rugged Envy BioScout that serves as a faithful member of the new X system as well. So, utilizing ultraviolet fluorescence and elastic scattering measurement, combined with an advanced alarm algorithm, this device is capable of monitoring releases of typical harmful biothreat agents in the optical particle size range category of 0.5 to 10 microns, appearing in the operating environment of armored vehicles and collecting even a secondary air sample when needed for further biological identification. And through the Kempro XDS user interface, the vehicle operators can have control over this device too and have access to its status and measurement data. So this is intended for detection of airborne biological threats. Then we have additional system components. I haven't included in my presentation, but just for your information that we have a modular construction which is customized to the system needs case by case. That's called remote terminal unit. And its task is to manage Ethernet connection and serial communication options in order to improve networking security in certain type of customer cases. It is also designed and tested to the military standards, and it is intended to expand system connectivity and redundancy if needed. So I'm finally at the end of my presentation. So I would like to wrap up the key points to remember when talking about our reliable, cutting edge and complete X system, and also Environics as your partner. So the X system provides a compact, scalable and modular solution for different mobility types and sizes and variants of armored vehicles and related customer needs for performance and durability. It expands from one single point detection to more comprehensive CBRN systems supporting the different roles and tasks of armored vehicles. The X system is chassis independent. It's open and available to all vehicle manufacturers and designs. Its core task is to prevent and minimize the exposure of crew to incapacitating and life-threatening CBRN agents so that continuity, effectiveness and overall success of the variable missions can be retained. The X system creates situational awareness by providing timely early warning for CBRN threats and information for smart use of protective equipment and systems and for taking other countermeasures. Environics CBRN system components are available as commercially off-the-shelf basis, and they are designed and tested for uncompromised performance for demanding military use. And as a company, Environics can act as your one single trusted supplier for a complete CBRN monitoring solution, covering all the steps of your customer journey with excellence and commitment. So I thank you very much for your valuable time and interest for our brand new X system concept. For more detailed information, please visit our website www.environics.fi and take contact with our experts in the product and application management. Also, please stay tuned for the news, blog posts and articles for the X system too. And of course, our area managers and the representatives of our worldwide sales network are very happy to assist you in finding a perfect CBRN solution match for your projects, no matter if it's about new developments or upgrades of the existing vehicles. I hope you stay safe and strong in these restless and unsecure times we are facing. And take a chance and make your armored vehicle assets and personnel protected with this unique X system.